Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Dreamers Game 1, where we are playing Yomi. This is turn 46. Let's jump into things. Okay, so right off the bat, we have finished Conjuration 5, so boom. Conjuration 5 done, on our way to Alteration 5 now. Notate that. Then we have a couple of other interesting things. Ravana, the Demon King, has claimed the Throne of Life in the name of cute older women in your area. Let's check the Throne of Life real quick. Throne of Life is this. I think we've seen this before. Increases growth in the province, and then growth +1 in your dominion. Dominion 2 and 3 nature. Throne of Life and the Throne of Gaia in the same place is kind of... right? They're very similar effects. Growth 2, but 2 gems instead of growth 1 and 1 gem, and no growth in the province, but whatever. Anyways, so that is Lanka. So, Lanka, Throne of Life, right? Very cool. Okay. We did a Voice of Apsu, found nothing. We did an Arcane Probing, found nothing. We did a Summon Shikome, Hanya Pact, and we didn't find any suitable Blood Slaves in it. So, there was a Dire Portent as Nero 2, which is Urmor. This is not one of the more potent magic rituals, but the astral power harvested from the night sky will surely be used against you. Nice. So this is Stellar Focus. So Urmor, Stellar Focus. Okay, so that is interesting and dangerous. Urmor now has Eternal Pyre and Stellar Focus up. That could be a very big deal. So we'll talk about that as a concept of the world state here a little bit later. Got a bunch of battles to get through. Let's take a look at stuff. We have been hit in Eagle Reach Mountains. Now that we've moved far enough away, Hinnom has taken this back. We just have a single province defense here. No big deal. Kind of want to check and see. We can see the gear sets for Hinnom are evolving, right? A little bit more gear on everyone. That is important and good to know. But I will say importantly, we're still seeing tier 2 gear, right? We're not seeing tier 3 gear yet. Good to keep that in mind. If we start seeing tier 3 gear, that's a big deal. That means we have lost the construction advantage. We lose in Eagle Reach Mountains. We attack in Shambolic. This is with our Dione. Kotaro with a full set. He is up against a very small amount of PD, so no worries here, I think. Iron Skin, Blessing, Temper Flesh, Earth Power, and Fire Shield. Only 29 fatigue after all of that, thanks to good reinvigoration, the Girdle of Might. We are reinvigoration neutral, or fatigue neutral now. Go up in the air and land, and this is not going to be a competition in form. The only thing that I don't like about Kotaro's build is that he has a Shadow Brand instead of a Firebrand. Shadow Brand is not especially useful against undead, and I do believe we will be fighting a lot of undead due to Hinnom's Long Dead, the Rephites and things like that, so that is somewhat concerning. But we win in Shambolic, and we can see Hinnom has attacked in Yomi. Okay, so now we do actually have a small patrolling force here. I don't remember if this was me forgetting or if me just being like, look, if they pop it, they pop it. I should not have allowed this patrolling force to continue though. But what it does have the side effect of doing is it does use the last of the gems that the Achas are currently carrying. So this is definitely going to be death. Easy peasy. I will be surprised if we do anything. In Yomi, we killed a single Rephite warrior. That's actually way more than expected. And actually somewhat cost effective. Like, Oh, that's funny. Okay, so we've been hit in Yomi. I got a bunch of other battles to watch. We'll flip through them. Little raid of Helheim versus Ubar. Doesn't look like there's anything crazy here. Helheim should easily win this. Ba-da-ba-ba. Yep. Easy peasy. Saramatia attacking Ubar. So very cool here. And this is just two spirit guides trying to break out of a location, I believe. Ah, they're just knocking a scout off. Gotcha. Okay, so they win there in Pugria. Helheim attacks in Ancirna. Another small raiding party. This is not even a chance of anything happening there. Cool. We attack in Mysia, and this is our big force moving forward, just against a single PD. I will say this, though. This is an important note. This is the first turn that we have taken back a province from Hinnom with this army. Okay? Hinnom has not seen the exact contents of this army prior to this fight. So now, right now, Hinnom now knows what we have in this situation. And my assumption would be is that if Hinnom sees this, Hinnom should be going, oh shit. Off of the concept of the Ko-Onis, off the concept of the Aka-Onis, like, there is enough here to absolutely kill his Rephites. Absolutely. So, there's that. Now Hinnom has that information. Let's see if Hinnom does anything. So, we also get to see Helheim attack Ubar in Xanthrast. Okay, so this is actually a real army. A couple of mounted Herdmen, several mages, bunch of Hell Herdings. Storm Power comes up. Some imps come out. Is that from a... Yeah. Lifelong Protection over here to this Hangadrot. I should honestly be throwing out a Lifelong Protection as well. Lifelong Protection is very useful in some of these early battles. But, okay, so Helheim attacks and wins in Xanthrast. We attack in Belfields. A very small amount of raiders versus an equally small amount of province defense. And we win there. Very nice. And we attack in Cormark. So this is our small Tukamochi force. And Cormark does not have much in the way of PD. And I was hopeful that Cormark did not have much in the way of PD because Agartha had previously destroyed the PD there, and I was hoping that Hinnom would not want to have put more province defense into that location. So I was right. Great. Fantastic. We have a ratio of 4 wins and 2 losses against Hinnom this turn. So that is pretty decent. Take that. And then we've got some unexpected events. We have a rebirth event in Tapanete. And then we have a handful of magic gems have been found in the prime of the season. We've got 14 death gems. That's a lot of death gems. That's very nice. And a treasure has been found in Wase. 780 gold and a bunch of gems and a ring of returning. That is a fantastic haul. So, events-wise, this turn we got 780 gold, 3 fire gems, 2 air gems, 6 water gems, 2 earth gems, 14 death gems, and a ring of returning. That is a quite good haul. So very, very happy about that. Okay. We also got some battles. In Scythia, we were attacked, and... sorry, these are not our battles, we just witnessed them. Scythia got attacked by some direwolves, and they were repelled. And then Wesh got attacked by some barbarians, and they were not repelled. So, Cormark is lightly breached, Yomi is breached, Rutro, and Pistina is breached. So that's good to know. Okay, what are we doing this turn? First thing that we're doing, I do want to notate this, is just that we are building a lab in Strongdale. So, boom, infrastructure. We haven't done any buildings in a while, so building a lab in Strongdale. And that is honestly not like a big thing. And I'm not. I'm trying to think back of why exactly am I doing this, and I think it's just the concept that ultimately, I would like to start recruiting some Oni Shugos here in Ulm or Ancient Woods and start putting them in Strongdale. And if I do that, I want to have a lab here so that I can research while they are just spawning Oni in the province, right? That's part of the design. We have not been able to do that very much, right? Like we have it happening a little bit over here in the below, where prior to the unrest getting up, we were recruiting Oni Shugo there, and then every once in a while we recruit an Oni Shugo in Black Harbor and send them over to the below. And that's the intent of these Oni Shugo have the 25% Oni Summoner ability. So if you stack enough of them in a province, you can have a bunch of Oni summoning rituals fire all at once and get a bunch of Oni basically every turn. So that's what we would like to have happen in Strongdale. Since we got that 780 gold kind of windfall, we're just prepping infrastructure for the hope that that's something that we can do in the long run. Okay, so there's that. What else do we have? We have several rituals going on. We have a Voice of Apsu in Ulm. We have some horror specs going on. We haven't been doing horror specs for a while, but we've gotten some Thistle Maces put together, etc., etc. So we got some horror specs going on. We got some arcane probing going on, and we got some dark knowledge going on. So in total, we have 1 Voice of Apsu, 2 arcane probings, 2 dark knowledge, because we also have one going on, where is it? It's down here in Black Harbor. And then we have 2 horror specs as well. So that is what we're doing from a ritual standpoint. And then from a forging standpoint, we're not actually doing much. We're just doing 2 lightless lanterns. So there's that. And I kind of did things out of order compared to what I normally do. And that's because I want to spend a bit of time talking about the world state and what's happening in our actual, in our capital, right? So let's talk about what we're doing in the Hinnom front. We're just kind of like raiding around Kataro. Now that we have a flying, Dione. He can just kind of roam around and do whatever he wants. That's going to be ideal for us to continue to raid down Hinnom lands. Tokomochi is going to head into Scythia. We're going to see how that goes. And other than that, most of our movement is, as you know, just picking up Dione or picking up Onis, moving them around, etc., etc. Ow! A die. A while ago, when we got a different treasure event, I had started recruitment of a wizard here in Zemiki, or Zemaik. And this was for the off chance that we could get like a double up water option, or some water astral, or even some water death could be a good combination. We ended up getting water air astral, which is not horrendous, but it doesn't get us anything immediate. So we're moving him over to the below, and gonna start potentially researching with him or just doing something. I guess. But the big deal is Yomi. So Hinnom has hit our capital, which sucks, right? We lose a huge chunk of income this turn because of that. But 2, he has broken the fortification. Single turn, broken the fortification. He's got a lot of Rephites there, a lot of siege strength. And if we do not attack him there this turn. It is very possible, right, that he will take the fort, right? He could storm the castle and win pretty handily, okay? Which obviously we don't want to happen. So we have to move our army onto Yomi because I do not think what we have in Yomi is enough to prevent him from taking the fort. Which means we're going to kick the unrest on Yomi up to like 200, which means we're going to have income problems in Yomi for, 4 or 5 more turns, even if everything else works out well, right? Which it might not. I do still believe that if we meet him in open battle with this army, we win. I do not know that that's the case, but I do still believe that that is the case. Okay? We have been augmenting this army very slightly. We haven't had to change too terribly much, though. Basically, at the end of the day, we added some gear, and that's about it, right? Oh, also, we didn't... I meant to actually take a look at the Shikome the last time we talked about them, but these are the Shikome. They're very interesting. They have Berserker 4, so they actually hit harder than you might think, right? It only looks like they do 12 damage, which is relatively low, but they actually do 16 once they Berserk. The only scenario, the problem with it is they're very low protection, and if they get hit by, like, a Rephite, for example, they're probably going to die, so their protection is so low that that it's unlikely for them to Berserk, right? So somewhat of an issue. That being said, they are sacred, very useful, can be quite good. We'll see if we make a lot of use of them or not. So here's my expectation. Hinnom has seen the army this turn because we moved into Mysia afterwards. So I am assuming that Hinnom is able to look at this army and go, if I fight this army, I probably lose, right? There is the chance that he wins if he gets lucky with, like, fear procs or just general morale break issues, but that is unlikely, okay? So my assumption is that he's gonna see this and be like, okay, well, gotta run, can't win against that. But I can't, in good conscience, take that risk, right? If he decides, nah, fuck it, I'm going for broke, gonna fight and die in Yomi, and we don't move there, then he will probably take my capital, and that'll be a big fucking deal. Because we will lose our god. So we are breaking the siege with everything that we have. Horde of Skeletons spam coming out like crazy, etc., etc. But my assumption is that this is not going to be a battle at all. He's going to move somewhere, maybe further south, maybe back into Llama or east into White Forest. Hopefully not east into White Forest, because I do have shit going on there. But basically, regardless, like, my assumption is he is going to move somewhere aside from Yomi, and we're going to continue the chase. But we'll see how it goes. If he decides to hold, things could get very frisky. And by very frisky, I mean, again, I've talked about this, but I do think if we fight this army, I think it dies, and if we are able to kill that army, I'm just going to turn around and take what we have, and we're going to march to Hinnom, and I think we win. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Research-wise, we are heading up Alteration. We should get Alteration 5 this turn, which isn't going to get us too terribly much, but we will be on our way to Alteration 6 for End of Weakness, which is good. And then, I think otherwise, that's pretty much it. Board state, the war between Helheim and Ubar continues, and Lanka has joined against Helheim. I think Ermor has also joined against Helheim, but I don't know that they're actively fighting Helheim. They're just kind of like posturing and threatening. But I do believe Lanka has actively started to attack Helheim at this point. So their attacks against Hinnom are somewhat slowed, but they are intending on continuing to take the Hinnom Agarthan lands. But they're also focusing on trying to relieve some of the pressure from Ubar so that Helheim doesn't just run away with the game, basically. And that's pretty much it for the turn, honestly. Very excited to see how things go with the Hinnom army in Yomi. See how it goes. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.